was recently the venue for an international rugby tournament. Teams from 4 different countries took part in a hard-fought competition that started and strangely also ended with a series of pool matches. This is underwater rugby, a game that requires endurance, powerful swimming and, most importantly, excellent lung capacity.
The sport began in the early 70s when some Germans became bored of just swimming. They didn't want to count the tiles on the bottom of the pool anymore and wanted to have some fun in the water. It evolved from there with more German teams and some Danish sides. By the mid-70s it got bigger and European and World Championships began.
Scandinavia dominates the sport and the Nordic Championships bring together 4 of the strongest nations in the world. National teams from Finland, Norway and Sweden joined hosts Denmark to contest men's and women's titles.
The game is particularly strong in Scandinavia because it's very popular here in Northern Europe. There's more underwater hockey in Southern Europe. That's because I think we quite like to fight up here for fun.
Similarities with the traditional game of rugby are few and far between, but there's one obvious comparison.
I would say that the main thing in common is the physical contact. Playing this sport is tough and sometimes it hurts. That's part of the game and it belongs in traditional rugby as well as underwater rugby.
One way in which the 2 sports are similar is that the game moves quickly. When it comes to passing the ball, we're allowed to pass forwards. Of course, you can't do that in normal rugby, where you can only pass the ball backwards. But we do move a lot, and it's fast. It's very fast.
Although the water reduces serious impacts, scratching, bruising and black eyes are regular occurrences, and checks are carried out to reduce the risk of foul play.
Before each game we are lined up and we have our nails checked to make sure they are not too long. As you can imagine, long nails can cause scratches and that's no good. Then we have our fins checked and our mask to see whether there are any sharp edges on them. And then they also check our skin, because if we have too much cream on, we can become too slippery to hold on to during play.
2 referees are positioned underwater and 1 on the surface. Their role is crucial in keeping the game clean and they look out for a number of infringements. It's against the rules to hold an opponent's mask or to pull on their fins. Punching and elbowing are strictly forbidden, as is interfering with an opponent's snorkel. Strangling is not permitted at any time. And you certainly can't pull on an opponent's swimming costume. Each team has 11 players, but only 6 are allowed in the water at the same time. They have to hold their breath for anywhere between 10 and 45 seconds, so fitness is crucial.
You need a certain kind of toughness so that you dare to tackle someone underwater. And you need stamina because you're holding your breath for so long. Strength, speed and decision-making are all crucial, so you really need to be an all-round sportsman. And because the game is 3-dimensional, you need a good eye for it and must be able to read play. That's the most important thing.
Norway won the women's event in Copenhagen while Sweden took the men's title. And just like rugby union, the underwater community is also a very social one.
It's all about having fun, and of course winning, but mainly to have fun and fight like crazy, without getting hurt.
Perhaps not so different to the traditional game after all.